Now we come to the part of the meeting where we get a little feedback on how the meeting went. How well did the meeting go? And for that, we bring out our Master Evaluator. Please welcome Fred Bergeron.
Thank you, Madam MC. And as we collywobble over to the next portion of our meeting, I'm going to call on our functionaries who made that happen, starting with our Wizard of Oz report given by Sue Lighthole. Take it away, Sue.
This will not be a cottywomple report as I was listening hard. Susan, you had an and you said obnoxious. Terry, you had a few ums and uhs. Tom, you said got B and not B and told I couldn't mess up. Marjane, you had an and you had an oh my gosh. I don't think oh my gosh is in the typical counter, but I'm going to call you on it. Stephanie, you used my favorite word, gonna. Becky, you got stuck on characterists, make a character. Koki, you had a few ums and uhs. Oscar, I don't know if he's around, had 3 or 4 uhs and ums, and they turned 14 recently. That was sort of awkward. Rajiv, you had 3 ums and you had a so. Jerome, you knowed. And Lee, you just had and you got stuck on I. That is the counter report.
Thank you, Sue. And now on to Francine Jolene, who's going to give us the Funny Word Masters report. Take it away, Francine.
Let's see. Marjane said it twice. And then I also have Tom, Terry, Akeem, Fred, and Sue. And I think the best one tonight was no coddle-waffling would be happening. I love that accent. It reminded me of living in Yazoo City, Mississippi.
Is that it, Francine?
That is it. That's all I used it.
Thank you. And now on to our Humor Detectives report by William McCombie. Take it away, William.
Yes. I will take that away from you then. To start off, as people showed up to the meeting, I know there was talk about the red dress, and I like the idea, the way that Akeem took that idea and ran with it. Talking about the red dress on Valentine's Day because of the imagery it creates in your head. Like, big manly guy wearing a bright red dress. I love it. I'm going to talk about the area director visit. I remember, was it Terry, you think, who mentioned the idea of turning Sue into a cat? Well, we already know, I think she's a cat anyway. Now, Jane, I like the way you borrowed a hat from Tom, and Tom played along well with that. For Susan, as the educational headliner, I think we have some good opportunities in there. Mind me to about the Who. The Who's, well, I wonder if there's a way you could have worked in the Who, the band, the Who, as in who are you, who. So, like some of the visual humor you had. For Grumpy Cat, what you could have done is, for Grumpy Cat, you could have said, speaker goes over time in Toastmasters meeting. Good, as Grumpy Cat was like to do, or maybe something that ties into Toastmasters, sort of like an in-joke that captures the spirit of Grumpy Cat. I know, talk about margaritas after evaluation, you got some laughs out of that. Use the rule of threes. You can talk about your phone, computer, and smoke signals. Yeah, I'm wondering if there's a way we could adjust that, because you have your phone, which is a simple device, and you have your computer, which is a complex device. I wonder if you could do something that's even more complex than a computer. I don't, maybe a satellite link to from the International Space Station, but still smoke signals. I think that's a good one there. Use pun in talking about the word but. And the shoe method. When you're talking about the big shoe, I'm wondering if you could incorporate some sort of pun there with the idea of wearing a shoe, or look at your shoes. And you maybe big shoes to fill. So you've got some options in there. The toilet paper mention, some classic potty humor going on there. For Tom, I noticed when you're changing your personas, you switched your hats. I thought you're going to switch your hat again when the call was made to think it was by Marjane, said, put your thinking hats on. I was looking at you, expecting you to put your thinking hat on. I don't know which hat is your thinking hat, but that could be an opportunity there. You use the rule of threes and talk about cows, cowboys, and Uncle Russell. When you talk about chicken scratch, when you think chicken, well, your speech was about being in the country, farms and cowboys and stuff. Maybe you could incorporate chickens in there. And for Oscar, for your speech, I don't, you're still there. A tip that a lot of really experienced speakers use, which you might have been able to incorporate, is making best of a situation and incorporating your situation into your speech. With improvised speeches, you can actually almost acknowledge something that's going on in the background, incorporate it into your speech, and then move on. For example, you could talk about, hey, criticism, it's tough on the ears, like a honking car. So you could do something like that. Let's see, when Oscar froze, I was expecting someone to make a comment about Oscar being frozen. Must be a cold front coming through Florida in the middle of summer or something like that. Being outdoors in the Orlando weather, which we know is not cold very often. Let's see, for the improv, Charlotte, when you're talking about the instruments, there was an opportunity to use the rule of threes there. You could say the native flute and the native flute, the English harp, and then the third one could be something really offbeat there. I know some weird instruments that we could think of, like, I don't know, but saying that some kind of weird or unusual instrument that you could incorporate in that's just completely off the wall.
Bagpipe.
Bagpipe? Yeah. Or maybe a bagpipe from I don't know. Yeah, that could be an option too. Akeem, you did well there. You made a throwback to the chicken joke. I think that was a good one. And then you took it even further with mentions of the sale on eggs and the mention of presidents not showing up at meetings. I like that. So that is all I have for the humor report, or the humor section. That's what I did take.
Thank you. And taking us home would be Akeem on the timers report. Mr. Bennett, it's yours.
Thank you, Master Evaluator. Starting off with our educational headliner. I watched her take this 45-minute speech and trim it down. I don't know how she did it, but Susan, you got it done in 13 minutes and 39 seconds with a 2-minute and 35 seconds round robin facilitation afterwards. Good job. Tom, you were going to speak from 5 to 7 minutes. You spoke for 6 minutes and 24 seconds. Good job. A word of advice, I would say, for a man that doesn't know about bras, he should mispronounce lingerie. It'll make it that much funny. And yes, that now has 3 syllables in it.
Lingerie, yeah.
Between the 3 parts of your speeches that we recorded, it was supposed to be 5 to 7 minutes. I put you down at 7 minutes and 33 seconds. Great way to deal with adversity. On the improv, Gloria and Francine spoke about bad ideas for 1 minute and 15 seconds. Charlotte and Pim talked about the band that they did not think they would see, and I'm not sure that they're going to see it, for 1 minute and 25 seconds. Then Sue and Terry spoke about the chicken crossing the road. I'm so glad that we've already had all the other reports. I am stumbling through all of this for 1 minute and 8 seconds. And then me and Koki talked about being the president for 1 minute and 12 seconds. And to round it all off, Lee and Daron spoke about the Bazaar Awards for 1 minute and 9 seconds. And that is, and Tom's joke, which was very funny, 1 minute and 46 seconds. That is your timers report for today.
Thank you, Akeem. And to wrap it up for my overall evaluation of the meeting, I think we seem to start a little bit after 6. And for Rajiv and William, I would recommend having the agenda in front of you, since we're a little bit over on this portion of it to keep aware of your time, or maybe having to condense your sessions would be my suggestion. And I'll now turn it back over to our Master of Ceremony, Marjane Taylor. Back to you, Marjane.
All right, thank you very much. And Akeem, that is syllables, not syllables, syllables. Okay.
You had the emphasis in the wrong place.
Correct. The emphasis on the wrong syllable. All right, well, thank you all very much. I've enjoyed tonight's meeting. I hope all of you have also